And for me, I'm still sitting here. Now, I did find some tickets that we could leave Monday, leave here and head into Mauritius. But we have to raise uh, $825 to leave here and head into Mauritius, which is an island in the southern coast of Africa. That's an option. And I'll check out other options as well. So, to see what all the options are as far as like, which way to go, what are options as far as, English speaking country. Excuse me. I pray y'all day is going well. I pray y'all have a blessed day, a peaceful day, a productive day, a safe day. And I do pray for Nepal. That's one thing I've never, ever, ever been comfortable with is living, along craters. Like, how you can see the patterns of mountains etched out. And I know that they're in the Himalayas in Nepal. But anytime you see where it looked like a pattern, a carved out pattern, I know I wouldn't want to be in that crevice because something is coming in that crevice. There's something there. So that's the part that I wouldn't, personally be at, is if I know. Because, being in any type of like valley or just that look like that earth carved itself out, there's no way I would be in that little slither. It's always to be up high because something is coming eventually. So I feel sorry for all those people that live in the little village that got wiped out from all of that flood water, mud. It came ferocious, and and may they, rest in peace, because that was not cool at all. And everybody's been, thanks T Brown for putting that in my feed as well. He told me about Nepal, and my mom too. She had mentioned what went on, and then I've been seeing footage today, and yeah, it's heartbreaking. But again, I hope y'all good. Goofy Bean too. But currently, excuse me, currently I am in, if you've ever been here, Bangkok, Thailand, and their biggest airport. How do you pronounce it? Suma Bahami Hobby, something like that. Sumam Hobby, and it's a huge airport. And I'm over being here, and I'm ready to get on a flight and get out of here. And I just need to be where I see now more than ever, personally, firsthand, it's good to be in a country where you can speak your native tongue. You know the language, and it's easier to communicate. So at this point, that's where I'm at. I have to, yeah, that has to be an official language, just to make it a little bit, easier to navigate, easier to get things done, more simple, a lot less negative stress on that issue. And, other than that, again, we can fly out of here in Bangkok and into Mauritius. And so that's why I got the Cashapp, even though it could not be working because they said they suspended my account, but I needed, I think it was 300 people donate $20, and then we can get to that location and get to more of an English-speaking territory. Yeah, and out of, Thailand, because I don't speak Thai. So I only know a couple words since I've been here. So, and their language sounds, I guess any other language other than your own or one you don't understand, it sounds like sounds. Like, because a lot of things they be saying, I'll be thinking they cussing. When I hear some sounds, and I'm like, what did he just say? So I know that may not be what he's or she is saying. It's just from my ears and my brain, you know, hearing certain words in English, when they make a certain sound, it sound like cuss words, or they cussing somebody out. And I'll be looking like, what's going on? And they just laughing and talking. I'm like, oh yeah, my brain. Like, I guess all of our brains would do that. You know, if you listen to a language and it just sounds like, or something like you know, just a bunch of sounds, you know, and that's not to disrespect anybody's language or culture. That's just me being honest. Like, you know, your brain is used and your ears is used to hearing a certain word and conditioned to that. That's why I think people who are multilingual are so incredibly blessed to be able to speak multiple languages. I think that is, and understand what is being communicated. I think that is just phenomenally, you know, a huge blessing to be able to do that. So, yeah. But I'm hoping that we can get out of here soon, you know, because personally, I'm over, you know, this whole setup. And again, if you can donate to the Cash App, you know, to go to buy the tickets, one way to get out of Thailand, to get out of Asia altogether, and get into a territory that, you know, speaks English. The official language is English. And or if you know anyone that has frequent flyer miles that can be able to, you know, pay us out. So, and that's an option too. And there's my son. He's just, you know, walking, chilling for the moment. He really been up since 5 this morning. I'm surprised he ain't fell out and crashed. So anyway, and I know he over it, you know, we're done. We're finished and we done here. Hey V, you gonna lay down? So, you gonna lay back down? I'm on a live. Yeah, right here. So, yeah, we both, you know, ready to jump up out of here. We're over it. I'm over it. And we've been down here for like 2 days. I think we came down here Wednesday. But and again, update, I've talked to the monks. They don't help. Not even in person. They don't even have anybody that they correspond with. So if you ever get in a situation where you need their support, that's not going to be possible. And if you want the U.S. Embassy, that comes with conditions. So, and the U.S. Embassy, I guess they don't do it the way they used to do it. You have to qualify for a loan. And then once you qualify for the loan, you have to pay it back with interest. And also, they'll strip you of your current passport and will issue a temporary passport that will only allow you to fly directly back to the United States mainland. In other words, if you wanted to go to Guam or Hawaii or any of the U.S. territories other than the mainland, they won't let you board the plane with that passport. Or, you know, they won't let you, you know, pass the gate to get it. So it's a lot of gatekeeping going on. It's a lot of conditions, you know, and that's a condition that I cannot accept. So the embassy can't help me because I'm not going along with all their criteria. And that's the thing about, you know, I can only speak for America. You know, it seems like there's always some way to keep you tied. And I'm like, why? You don't even love us. You don't even treat us good at home. So why you know, what you like, why should I stay hog tied to my abuser? Like, to me, it just don't, it's not even reasonable. It don't even sit on my spirit, my heart right. You know, a country that, you know, could easily throw you in jail, easily brutalize you, you know, easily tax you to death, easily, you know, charge all the bills up on you. And then, you know, they telling folks to get out. And then it's like, but then you got stipulations to try to keep us. I mean, what do you want? Like, it's so contradictory. All I know is it's just more control. We got power. You need us. We don't need you kind of attitude. So therefore, you know, we call the shots, and either you go along with it or you can choose not to. And I choose not to, you know, because I want my freedom. My freedom is more important, you know, and not being, you know, in a country that has no regards for you, you know, or for anybody for that matter. Excuse me. They got their own agenda, you know, and it's like their own agenda is the only thing that matters. So I know I spoke on that before, but you know, it's a part of the situation. Instead of saying, okay, fill out the application, we'll give you the loan, you can go where you want, but at least pick a country that is a native English, that speaks English, and you know, and accept Americans. So, you know, at least give us that wiggle room. Don't say we're going to take your passport and we're going to issue another one, and the only place you can go in the world is back to America. Like, I don't even trust that. How I know you're not going to let me have my passport back? I got to be able to trust you. I don't even trust the whole process. You know, when it's time for me to get a new passport, and I'm definitely not paying for him another passport. It don't expire until 2034. I don't have money to keep giving the government just to keep wasting. Like, trust me, they wasted more money than I could ever have or had and spend. So, trust me, any American getting any kind of resources from our country or organizations in our country, we will never be able to spend trillions of dollars, waste trillions of dollars, ever, you know. So I'm like, you know, I'm just opting out. They can do what they want, how they want. It's just, I'm not going to be a part of it. So I just have to continue to hold on to you all's support and hope that, you know, and pray and hold on to the Heavenly Father, that all I need is one or two, or yeah, maybe two, but definitely one person that has means to help. Because I seen that happen on my about almost 2 weeks ago, when I helped some lady named Emily. A rich dude came in and gave her $500. She needed like 300 of it almost to get home. So she even had food money. So I know it's possible because I seen it with my own eyes. And you can see it too on my channel because I've videotaped everything. And I took pictures of her with holding the money and everything. And actually, he's in one of the videos, the guy that's sitting there. He said he makes clothing, or he has a clothing line, and he has candy for kids, like something like that. That's what he said his business was in. And he was originally from Uzbekistan. And but he came through. He saw the videos, and he said, I can only help one of y'all. So I'm like, basically just going to help her. Because, you know, that's what I put the video out when she was crying, you know, crying to me. So that's what I need. You know, to me, that's my government. And somebody with means just be like, look, I got you. What tickets you need to get to, one-way tickets you need to get to where you got to go. All right, I'll get that taken care of, get that paid, get on your flight and go. You know, because I've already, the one important update was on my passport, they were saying, ooh, I had to crack my neck. Ooh, I hate slouching because it messes up my neck. I got to keep everything straight. On my passport, they wanted to tell me back here information that I overstayed my visa. But I'm like, no. I contacted immigration. I was like, when we first got here in this airport on July 26th, they gave us 60 days. So legally, we have, like everybody else that comes in visa on arrival, you get 60 days free. So my passport shows that we're allowed to be, it's stamped that, you know, we're allowed to be here free up to 60 days, which is, we came July 26th, and it's stamped and it shows, I'm about to pull it out, September 26th. But then when I bought plane tickets and to fly to Vietnam, they denied us to board the Vietnam plane. So I asked, if we don't take the plane, can we take any other mode of transportation? And they were like, you can take the bus or you can take the train. So I was like, okay, we'll take the train. They were like, we got sleepers. We can buy it, pay for a room or a bed on the train and just sleep all the way there. It was an 11-hour trip. But here is my passport. This is my passport. And you can see where you see the red square? It says it's stamped and it reads September 26th. That's when we have to be off the soil, so we don't have to pay or be penalized through payment. Now, when we took the training, we got to Laos. When we left Nang Khai, Thailand, and went into Laos, they stamped this blue saying we departed on the 27th. We arrived on July 26th. We arrived here when I bought tickets for us to fly to Vietnam. We were denied to board the plane, and they kept the money, saying we got to buy more tickets. Then when we took the train, when we got to Nang Khai, Thailand, which borders Laos, then when we left Thailand and went into Laos, they stamped it that we departed, it says departed, July 27th. But when Laos refused to let us come in, we had to go back. So when we went back into Nang Khai, they stamped void, see, VOID, void across it. So they voided this stamp. So when we got here, and I was talking to the lady at the information center, she was like, oh, you've overstayed your stay. They stamped your passport to 27. I said, lady, that's voided. That stamp, that's what that stamp is. So she wanted to debate with me with their broken English that they can barely understand what I'm comprehending. And they definitely don't understand what I'm saying. So I contacted immigration. It was like, yeah, this stamp saying that you departed was voided. So that automatically lets this one come back into play. Because what they want to do is charge us $500 a day in baht, up to 20,000 baht, which is $650 for me and $650 for my son. So that's $1,300 they wanted us to pay before we can buy another plane ticket to fly out of here. And I argued that. I'm like, no, that's not what she said at the immigration. Y'all know, and I know, and I'm tired of y'all running game on us. And, because they think you don't know what's going on, or they think you don't know how your information reads. So they'll just feed you any old BS to get more money to you, to spend more money till your bank accounts are drained or your credit cards are tapped out. They know what they're doing here. Because Jalen was talking about it. He was 3 plane tickets deep. They wouldn't let him board the plane, and he paid for 3 plane tickets. He was down and out $2,000. And they did me the same way. They just over here milking. And no kind of honoring, like in the United States, at least, United, Southwestern Airlines or whatever, they'll be like, oh, we'll give you a credit or we'll give you a voucher. You can catch your flight, later. Here, there ain't no policies and procedures and refunds in place. And that's another reason why I'm not coming back. Because I'm like, for you to do that, that's dirty. Although I have to admit, it's very peaceful here. Nobody bothers you. But when it's time to do business, it's a dog eat, unethical, ill policy, ill procedures that get you stranded or stuck like what they did to us. Just drain my money. And, and I'm being forthright. I'm being, listening to them like they're being honest. And it just goes to show that no matter where business is in the world, at least here, I can only speak for here, Laos and America and Mexico, that when it comes to business, everybody is dirty. They don't care. And at least the United States, they try, to keep, policies and refunds policies and stuff in place. And even that has changed. It's not as generous or quick to get it done as it used to be. Because, you give somebody your money. I'm like, I gave you the money at that day. What you talking about? I got to wait 30 days for my money or 60 days. Our return policies and doing right by people has changed. Even in America, it's not as clean and forthright as it used to be. So, you find yourself caught up in situations that you know, you can only find out the truth once you experience it. And it is a costly experience. But at the same time, little do these people realize, excuse me, the only thing that they're going to end up getting is fresh new blood. That's it. You think I'm going to come back? Nobody's going to come back if you've been cheated. You've been ripped off. Nobody's coming back to that. I would have been delighted to come back. You know, because like I say, the police don't bother you, like brutally anyway. They may inquire, like, but they'll go on about their day and they stay friendly, they smile, you know, that kind of thing. But, oh, hey, T Brown. Hey, good morning to you. Or should I say grand rising with the sun. And yes, and I'm praying for Nepal. Thank you for bringing Nepal to my attention. Obviously, it's all over the news now. And, you know, I pray for what those families had to deal with, people. And they said a lot of Americans, like over 90 Americans was there too, this missing. And I guess other people from like other countries like India, I saw, and other, I guess, people visiting that area or touring that area, they got caught up in that too. So, but again, yeah, thank you so much, Mr. T. Brown. I appreciate you. And thank you for that information. That other organization, I reached out to them. I haven't heard anything yet. I don't know if it was called Hope something. But anyway, I got it. And I appreciate you. And I thank you for all your effort and you taking the time out of your day and, you know, to do that for me. So I appreciate you and I thank you. And it's like I tell my sister and my mom, I'm very grateful and I'm thankful and I appreciate y'all. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, we still sticking it out. I just came on here, you know, just to make clear again that, you know, I still keep everybody in the loop. I stay, you know, keeping the camera rolling as much as I can. And that, thank God that I got the passport stamp thing straightened up, because they was trying to get $650 out of me and $650 out of my son for some overstaying our visa, and it's not. That's not, because I told the lady, you being dishonest, and stop it. You know we are legally in this country until September 26th, and Lord have mercy, I don't want to be nowhere near that date getting out of here. T. Brown said, just want to see you safe, and you're, oh, thank you, and your son. Thank you so much, T. Brown. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, 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 you're right. I think that, and it's funny because I met a gentleman, not yesterday morning, no, not this morning, but yesterday morning. His name was Abe, and he's taking a tour throughout Asia, and Thailand was one of his stops. And so he was getting ready to depart, but he stopped and talked to me. And he also shared a book with me. I posted the picture of the book in the post on my page. So if y'all interested in that book, check it out. It's a little booklet. And he was emphatically stating that he shared it with his son and his daughter, and that he would love to share it with me. And I was eager to receive. And so, like he said, I'm not no gatekeeper. And I posted the book because I'm not a gatekeeper either. And I'm not asking nobody pay me $2 to see the copy of the book that's going to help you or help myself, or nah, just give it to you. Like, I get tired of like conditions, and then some conditions is just ridiculous. And I'm like, just put the information out there. Like, I don't always have to get paid to give or share the information, you know. And it's funny because, you know, sometimes, like, even including myself, I pay it forward. You know, I'm like, when somebody did this to me, they were good to me. They helped me out. So I only feel it's a duty, a right to do that. If I got information, that don't mean that that's an opportunity to sell everything. I see some people out here just selling everything, even on their YouTube channel. Like, what is it called? It says join. Oh, members only content. To me, I'm like, why is everything got to be $1 in between you and the other person and y'all sharing information? Why does that, there has to be dollars in between to access that? You know, and to me, just put the information out there. It don't always have to cost people. You know, it's not right. To me, I don't think it's right. you know, to pay for air. I swear to God, if they could control how much oxygen we could breathe, we'd be paying for how much fresh oxygen we would be getting. Thank God, the Lord, the way the Father God made the planet where we need oxygen, and mankind can't try to control that. And I pray they never do. Because I remember in that one movie Arnold Schwarzenegger was in, they was controlling the oxygen. I forgot the name of that. It was some sci-fi movie. I forgot the name, but I remember it. Yeah, it's like, you know, they control the water, they control the lights, the electricity. And I swear to God, if they had a way to control the oxygen, a lot of us would be blue and 6 feet under, waiting for them to give us some air to breathe. Because it's going to cost you. Something God put on this planet for free. Because he know as a species, that's what we need. But if they could find a way to bottleneck up the oxygen and only give it to those who can afford it or the privilege, the rest of us would be toast. Exactly, that's it, the Running Man. T. Brown, remember? His name was Ben something. I remember that, Ben Sturk something. I remember that old lady was like, get him. Because he was in there kicking butt. And you're like, you know, they had some kind of mind thing where you can travel and it just hooks to your brain and all that. That movie, that's the one. That movie was really good. But it's like, I don't know if that will be our real future, man. It's going to be some sad times. Because it takes God-like people, not the demon or demonic type people, controlling the resources. When you got evil, demonic people controlling the resources and the money, you're not going to do right by your fellow man. It's just never going to happen. Hey, Cara. Gymnastics. Hi, sweetheart. Thank you, T. Brown. T. Brown knew. He's like, I think it is Running Man. It was the Running Man. Yeah. That was a cool movie. A lot of movies be out. It be, you know, before their time, or be hitting on what we, you know, are creeping up on in our societies, as far as like technology, control, greed, you know, gatekeeping, you know, everything costing you. Excuse me. So I'm like, you know, I don't even feel like going there. To me, I get more anxiety if I, let me not subscribe to that word, because you know why? Growing up, I didn't even know what no anxiety was. Like, even if I was going through it, I didn't identify with it because I didn't even know what the term, it didn't even exist. So I'm not going to even put that on myself. I'm not going to speak that over myself, because it's just some things I won't tolerate and some things I will. Because of the way I know T. Brown can relate, because of the way we grew up. We didn't grow up in a society based off of technology and phones and the way they do stuff. We old school. You just go out on the block or on the street, you move in a new neighborhood, or you grow up with your friends, go to school with your friends, and you interact. That's how I'm used to life. You know, just being, to me, that's normal. To be able to go up to someone and, hey, introduce yourself. What's your name? Where you go to school? You live around here? Who's your family? You know, just talk, just interact. You know, just vibe. You know, and it was no phones involved. We had landlines. And trust me, nobody wanted to be stuck in one area on the phone in the house. So we be out and ripping and running and playing and interacting, discovering. So, yeah, it's a different world for sure. But anyway, I shared that book. Again, you can check out that book. Hopefully y'all can get a copy. I'm sure if Amazon got used copies, you can probably get it for dirt cheap. And if anybody out there is having trouble getting a copy, I did take pictures of each page, and I can always text you. If you give me your phone number, I can always text you the pages that I have, you know. And I know that they probably, I think that's a copyright, you know, issue. Like, you know, they're like, don't be without written permission. So I just put that out there. All right, but I'll be glad when we are out of here. I did, again, find some tickets where we could leave Monday. If I could just get everybody or anybody and everybody, if you know a minister, if you know organization that can donate, or if anybody got frequent flyer miles or points where you can use to go towards buying a flight. I did find a flight where we can get out of here on Monday. and it leaves Bangkok and it flies into Mauritius, and it's like $810 for the both of us, which is excellent. Because if I took Etihad Head and flew back to Abu Dhabi and then into Africa, they are wanting $4,000. So 400 per person versus 4,000 per, like, no, it's 4,000 together. So it's like 2,000, like 200 each. That's a huge significant difference. So right now, that's my goal, to try to, in the next 24 to 48 hours, get up at least $800 so I can at least pay for tickets for us to get out of Thailand and into an English-speaking country. But it's the closest one I could find was Mauritius. And then Mauritius is on the other side of Madagascar, and on the other side. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end this live and I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna pop right back in, so I can talk about what I found. All right, I'll see y'all in about a few seconds. All right.